Imagine, if you will, a Tuesday, just a regular Tuesday. You're sipping your coffee, maybe scrolling through cat videos. Suddenly the sky does something unusual. Not a bird, not a plane, not even Superman. This is bigger, much bigger. A shadow falls, not like a cloud, but like a piece of the night sky decided to visit during the day. It's silent, impossibly silent for its size, and it just hangs there, defying gravity and every expectation you ever had about your morning commute. This isn't a weather balloon, folks. This is the real deal. The moment humanity stops worrying about Wi-Fi passwords and starts wondering about cosmic neighbors, the first sighting isn't some blurry photo from a shaky phone. Oh no, this visitor or visitors, they aren't shy. They position their craft, let's call it a ship, though it looks more like a giant, sleek, obsidian teardrop right over a major city. Maybe New York, maybe London, maybe Beijing. Pick one. So there it is, a colossal silent calling card from the stars. What's the first human reaction on a global scale? Predictably, a delightful cocktail of panic and wonder. Supermarket aisles, recently recovered from the great toilet paper shortage of 2020, might see a resurgence in demand. Because, aliens. You might need extra charmin. Beyond the essentials, there's a sudden, intense interest in astronomy, in old sci-fi movies, mostly to see what they got wrong, and in calling loved ones. Did you see the giant thing? Becomes the universal conversation starter, trumping weather and sports indefinitely. Governments worldwide hit the big red button, or more accurately, they convene emergency meetings in underground bunkers. The kind of meetings where the coffee is stale and the stakes are astronomically high. The United Nations Security Council probably tries to issue a statement, but can you imagine the bickering? My country gets to say hello first? No, my country has better snacks for visitors. Meanwhile, every leader is on the phone with their top scientists, military advisors, and probably their astrologer, just in case. Now let's talk about how governments might actually do something, beyond just worrying in windowless rooms. The initial policy decisions would be fascinating, a true test of global cooperation versus national self-interest. Some nations might advocate for an immediate, open-armed welcome. Come on down, share your wisdom, try our local delicacies. Others, perhaps with a more robust military tradition, might be thinking about containment. Let's draw a very big circle around them and have lots of pointy things ready, just in case. It's human nature, isn't it? Hope for the best, prepare for the, oh dear, they have lasers. Military forces worldwide would go to their highest alert levels. Not necessarily to attack, but to be ready. Fighter jets would be scrambled, though kept at a respectful distance. You don't want to be the hotshot pilot who accidentally starts an interstellar war because you got too close to the shiny new spaceship. Section 4. Shaking the foundations, faith, philosophy, and a universe full of surprises. The arrival of extraterrestrial intelligence wouldn't just be a scientific or political event. It would send shockwaves through the very foundations of our beliefs, our religions, and our philosophies. For millennia, we've looked up at the stars and wondered, are we alone? Suddenly we have an answer. And that answer is a resounding, nope, and your new neighbors have a really big ship. This confirmation would force a profound re-evaluation of humanity's place in the cosmos. We're not the sole occupants of the universe's VIP lounge anymore. We might not even be on the guest list. Religions around the world would face an immediate existential challenge. Do their sacred texts account for life on other planets? Are these beings part of God's creation, or something else entirely? Theologians and religious leaders would be thrust into the spotlight, tasked with interpreting this monumental event for their followers. Some might see it as a test of faith, others as a fulfillment of prophecy. New interpretations would emerge, perhaps even new religions centered around our starfaring visitors. Section 5. Show me your tech, the Great Galactic Garage Sale. Once the initial shock subsides, and assuming the visitors aren't here to vaporize us, another powerful human trait would kick in, curiosity. Especially scientific curiosity. What kind of technology allows a ship that big to float silently? How did they get here? Do they have better Wi-Fi? Scientists would be like kids in a candy store the size of a solar system. The potential for technological exchange would be staggering, a leapfrog event for human civilization. Imagine understanding their propulsion systems, their energy sources, their materials science. It's the ultimate cheat sheet for cosmic advancement. The list of potential breakthroughs is almost endless. Advanced medicine that could cure our most stubborn diseases? Clean, limitless energy sources that could solve climate change overnight? Faster than light travel, making those distant stars suddenly accessible? It sounds like science fiction, but in this scenario, sci-fi just walked out of the screen and parked over Paris. The desire to learn, to understand, to acquire this knowledge would be immense. Every university, every research lab, every tech company would be clamoring for a piece of the alien pie. Section 6. Friends or foes? The billion-dollar question with extraterrestrial interest. This is the big one, isn't it? The question on everyone's mind, whispered in hushed tones in corridors of power and shouted on internet forums. Are they here to help us or to harm us? Are they cosmic philanthropists, intergalactic tourists, or something far more complicated? Analyzing alien motives without a common language or cultural context is like trying to understand a cat by reading Shakespeare to it. You might get a purr, you might get a scratch, and you probably won't know why you got either. Their reasons for visiting could be as varied as the stars themselves. The potential for peaceful coexistence is, of course, the dream. Imagine a future where humanity joins a galactic community, sharing knowledge, culture, and exploring the universe together. We could learn so much, not just about science, but about different ways of living, thinking, and being. This scenario requires trust, patience, and a massive dose of interspecies diplomacy. It means overcoming our own tendencies towards fear and suspicion, and hoping that our visitors are equally enlightened. It's a beautiful vision, the kind that fuels hopeful science fiction and late-night philosophical discussions. However, we also have to consider the potential for conflict. Misunderstandings can happen easily, even between humans who speak the same language. Section 7. A new cosmic dawn. Are we ready for the universe? So the aliens have landed, or hovered at least. Life as we know it has been irrevocably altered. Tuesday will never be just Tuesday again. The initial shockwaves of their arrival, the fear, the excitement, the governmental head-scratching, the philosophical soul-searching, have rippled across the globe. We've contemplated their technology, we've pondered their intentions, and we've probably updated our social media statuses a few hundred times. The universe has knocked on our door, and it's not asking for a cup of sugar. It's presenting us with a whole new reality. The challenges ahead are monumental, of course. How do we communicate? How do we ensure our safety and theirs? How do we integrate this profound new knowledge into our societies without breaking them? These are not questions with easy answers. They will require the best of us, our intelligence, our compassion, our courage, and perhaps most importantly, our humility. We are no longer the smartest kids in the cosmic classroom, and that's a lesson that can be hard to learn, but incredibly valuable if we do. This is a chance for humanity to grow up, fast.